Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Lost Boyz Podcast. This is episode 51. That means next week, 1 week from now, is the 1 year anniversary of the podcast from when we first uploaded and first started the podcast. You know what? Before we get started, just brief, because I'm sure we'll touch more upon it in the next episode. From where we were a year ago to where we are now is vastly and very different. It's drastically different. Just the mindset, what our focus is, what we're doing, our approach towards life, our knowledge on life. It's crazy how much can change in 1 year.
It's so true. Like, I look back at Brandon on March 8th a year ago, 2022, and I'm like, okay, I thought I knew shit then.
Yeah.
Fast forward 365 days, and now I'm like, I didn't know shit then.
Yep.
And it's funny because a year from now, when we're getting ready for our 2-year episode, it's going to be like, wow, even then, we didn't really know shit. Now it's like, it's crazy to think about, like, at least for me. And I'm so fucking excited to hit 1 year just because people don't get this far.
Yeah.
Think about it. People don't stick with something for a month even. They go in, maybe record a few videos because it's cool and they're motivated. And then that's it. Once they don't turn into Mr. Beast in a month, they'll give up.
Yep.
And I'm guilty of it too. Like, you type in my name, I'm about to out myself. Or you type in my name, there's so many YouTube channels that come up.
Me too.
Like, I've attempted so many times and let it go so many times. So this is like, for me at least, it's like, sticking with it. We stuck with it for about to be a year. We'll stick with it for 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth.
Yep. But yeah, let's save that for the next week's episode.
Next week's episode's going to go so hard.
Yeah, we'll dive more deep into that. For today's episode, we're going to be talking about the importance of experiencing discomfort and being uncomfortable just in general in life. And I think just what we touched on is like a good example of that. Like, the reason why we're not the exact same person who we were last year is because we did things differently. We put ourselves in some uncomfortable situations. We experienced some discomfort along the way. Even if we fell flat on our face, we were still put into it and faced the adversity. We're now like, we think differently, we act differently, we operate differently to an extent. Right. Obviously, we're not like a 100% different person, but our mind expanded. We grew. We learned, and also with age too. But it all came from discomfort. Like, I can say for me personally, first off, just sitting in front of a camera was uncomfortable. It felt weird just talking to a camera in a room. Number one. Now I don't even feel like before. I was very judgmental about myself. Like, I was blinking too much. Oh, my voice sounds weird. Why'd I do that? Yeah. Nah, don't put it up. Now I just put a camera in my face. I'm going to talk and, okay, go ahead. Put whatever you want. I don't even care. I could look retarded on the camera. Yeah, I don't care. Do it. So getting comfortable in front of a camera definitely changed from just experiencing that discomfort from talking so much to a camera also, and putting my ideas and opinions out there for everyone and anyone to see also made me more comfortable. Maybe comfortable is not the word. Confident is what I should say. Just within myself, my capabilities. It exposed things that I needed to fix. Maybe I needed to strengthen, things like that. But it all comes from experiencing discomfort. And experiencing discomfort is extremely important for anyone if you want to grow. Because if you don't experience discomfort or challenge yourself, you're never going to grow.
Something absolutely so true. And it's one of those things because leading up until this moment, I was thinking like discomfort, like, oh, should I take the leap or not? And then as you were talking, I started thinking deeper. And it's like discomfort goes far beyond just trying something new. Think about when life gets fucking hard. When your entire basis of life has changed, right? And now your first reaction is to go back to your comfort zone. Well, guess what? You don't have one. That's where progress happens. That's where like you're able to, not even able to, no. You're forced to grow. So think about whether if it's discomfort in a sense of starting a podcast and talking to a little box every day, right? Or every week. And you, like you said, you're thinking too much about blinking or stuttering. That's a micro challenge in life that with time you just overcome. But I think discomfort also goes so much deeper. Like to me, it's the same game all around, but with heavier weight. If I don't know if any of that made sense, but
Yeah.
ultimately, to some of what I was trying to say is think about just being uncomfortable in life, because something that's for certain is maybe you're comfortable right now, but life is eventually gonna force you to be uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. At some point, you're going to face adversity. It's inevitable. But embracing that adversity is what's going to make the difference between somebody who gets through it and somebody who succumbs to it. I was watching a podcast recently, actually. His name, I believe, is Bedros Koulios. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. But he actually has, I've seen like 2 or 3 of his podcasts. They're actually really good. I haven't explored all of them. From the few I've watched, I like them. And he was brought up a point about suffering versus discomfort and how they're somewhat different and how a lot of people get it confused. A lot of people think that you have to suffer to grow in life. And the truth is you actually don't need to suffer. And, well, sorry, let me rephrase. I don't think that's what he said. He said, it's not that you need to suffer, it's that you just need to change your frame of mind. So he used the example of Navy SEALs, right? There's a bell there. Anyone and everyone could go up and ring it, right? The people who usually succeed are the ones that are experiencing discomfort. The ones who fail are the ones who are experiencing pain and just struggle overall. The reason why is because the person who's facing discomfort, it's not that they're not going through the same thing. It's just that their frame of mind is different. They understand this is temporary, and at some point, I'm going to be fine. The person going through suffrage and pain, they think to themselves, this is my life forever. This is it. So it's easier for them to cave in and give up. So that's also, and I really agreed with that. And that's also why I'm saying experience discomfort, not put yourself through suffering and pain, because there really is no difference in the two in terms of what you're doing. What determines the two is your perspective on what you're doing. So me and you could both do 100-mile race. To me, it's just discomfort, but to you, it's suffering and pain. So to you, it's easier. It's going to be easier for you to want to give up, for you to just accept that this is my life and it's shitty and I'm going to be in a shitty situation and I'm no good and I can't do it. And for me, I understand I'm just doing this right now in the moment. But at some point, it's going to stop.
Yeah.
At some point, I'm going to be able to sit down. I'm going to be able to eat. I'm going to be able to do all these things. And then I can look back and say, damn, I did it. Versus the other person is going to look back and be like, damn, like, I knew this was going to happen either way. Why didn't I just push myself? And then they actually lose confidence. They lose that ability to perform under those situations. And it all comes from a mind frame of what they're perceiving it as. Is it discomfort or is it suffrage?
I see. I really like the way that that's put, because if you really think about it, that whole ideology of discomfort versus suffering, the way you just worded it, can go like this. You could be going through some of the worst shit, but say, you know what? Like you said, it's going to end. I'm going to be okay, right? I'm supposed to learn something right now. There's something in this shitty situation or shitty experience, whether you're running a 100-mile race or your life is getting thrown in a blender, right? If you tell yourself there's something I'm supposed to be learning and this will end, I will get through it, I will be okay, and genuinely believe yourself too. Like, just saying, like, you know what? Eventually, I'm going to get to the end of the race. Eventually, like you said, going to be able to sit down. I'm going to be able to eat, right? Or eventually, somebody's going to turn off the blender, right? Like, it's going to end. You're going to be okay. It's all about, like you said, how you look at it. And once you, not to say master that, but truly convince yourself of that, you start to realize shit doesn't get that bad.
Yeah.
The things you go through might suck, but they start like
lessening. You learn to not lose sight of the light at the end of the tunnel. And so you understand that. So you understand that no matter what you're going through, you can always see the light at the end. You know, it's inevitable that it's going to end.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what it is in life, at some point it's going to end. Whether that's good or bad, there's going to be an end point. So if you're suffering, change your mind frame to a discomfort where it's like, okay, yes, this sucks. No, I don't want to be doing this. But I understand that as once I'm done doing this, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. It's over. It's done with. I'm going to keep pushing and it's going to be so much harder for me to actually feel the discomfort in that again because I've already done it. For example, like let's say I do a fitness challenge, right? For example, the Murph.
Mm-hmm.
I did the Murph. Leading up to the Murph, I was expecting in my head to be very uncomfortable, struggle, want to quit. I trained for like maybe 3 weeks and just did it. And then I did it. I pushed through it. But I understood the mind frame that I'm not suffering. I'm just uncomfortable, right? My body's tired. My body wants to stop. It wants to rest. But I keep pushing through. I finished the Murph and I think to myself, damn, I remember the first time somebody told me about the Murph and I thought, damn, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine doing that. And now I just did it and I realized it's not that big of a deal. It's actually not that difficult. It actually wasn't difficult. It's just here. It's just understanding here and then understanding how to go through it, like how to pace yourself through it so that you get through it. And I understood during it that at some point it was going to be done. I knew I was going to finish it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of when. But it's going to end at some point. I could quit halfway, go sit in my car and drive home and feel like a bum because I quit myself. I failed myself. Or I could just push through, then get back in my car, do the same exact thing, but feel good about myself. Like, damn, I did it.
You know, absolutely. Like, it's you earned the right to go back to your car, drive home.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes you feel so good. Like, you know what? You're doing the same act. Whether if you quit midway or you went all the way through, you're still, like you said, driving home, right? Still going to go lay down in your bed. But you're going to go lay down with the feeling of, I fucking did that. Like, I succeeded at that. Like, I came, I saw, I conquered kind of thing. And that does so much for confidence, for just overall self-esteem. Like, the more things you succeed at, the more you start to seek things to succeed at.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you get good in the gym. Like, I remember back when we used to, like, reference the gym every episode. But, like, the gym, right? You go to the gym. You start doing really well in the gym, right? You came, you saw, you conquered the gym, right? Which is not something that ever really ends. But, you know, you get to a place where you're doing well in the gym and you're seeing progress. You start naturally to seek more things to succeed at. So that spills over into your diet. That spills over into maybe some decisions. You're not going to eat as much shitty food if you're working out so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You're going to eat food that is going to accommodate, you know, your protein and things like that, so on and so forth. But to bring a very out of left field example into the park is the more you challenge yourself, the more you're going to start succeeding. May not be right away, but eventually the more you're going to start succeeding.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you start succeeding, the more you're going to seek success in many different ways. But you don't get to that point. Like, take, for example, who's an overachiever? I'm not going to be able to think of somebody on the fly. So, but
David Goggins.
David Goggins, right?
Uh-huh.
Very good example. So David Goggins is a freak of nature that can run 2 million miles at a time, right? Super fit, right? Like, just overall mentally tough. Like, this dude is a solid, well-rounded guy, right? But you look at his story and it's like, all right, what were his challenges? His first challenge was all right, I need to make money, right? Whatever he did, what he had to do to make some money. And then, so once he started making money, he was like, all right, well, the money doesn't mean shit if I don't take care of my body. Dude loses like, what was it? Like 200 pounds?
Yes.
Like,
I don't remember the number, but he lost a lot of weight.
yeah, like, let's say 100 pounds to keep it clean, right? Like on a very low ball. Dude loses crazy weight. And in losing crazy weight, he's like, I need to do more, right? Dude goes through Navy SEAL training, like runs across the country type shit. Nah, he doesn't actually. But he runs like 100-mile
races. Yeah.
Races. Like, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But that's crazy to me because I can't even run a mile. But somebody like that has progressively gotten there, to him, it's like another 100 miles.
Yep. Yeah, it's just proving to yourself that you can weather the storm. And once you can weather the storm, you're good. And I would actually change the mind frame towards him. He's not a freak of nature. He's just somebody who tested nature. Yeah. That's all it is. He just tested his limits and realized he can go further. And every time he tests it, he accomplishes it because he understands the mind frame of being the discomfort that is temporary. So therefore, he continues to accomplish things. So he just continues to test life until life smacks him in the face. And life doesn't smack him in the face because you can do anything you set your mind to, for the most part. Now, if you want to take it literally, talking about jumping off building and survive, okay, now you're just being cynical. But the point is, it is all mental, literally. I mean, Wim Hof is another example of that. He climbed Mount Everest to the death. I think he climbed to the death zone or whatever in shorts. First man to ever do it. He walked through a desert in shorts or whatever, and it was like 100-something degrees. Did it, regulated his internal temperature. They injected him with E. coli. His body killed it off in 15 minutes under like scientists, doctors, like monitoring it and seeing it happen in his body all through hearing breathing. Like it's all here. It's all here. He's not a freak of nature. He's not someone special because he taught other people how to do it. So obviously other people can do it. The difference is he has the belief in himself to be able to do it. He understands that he already got through one hardship, which means he could get through any hardship now. He faced adversity once, got over it. It's the same thing with anything else you do. Like you said with David Goggins, he went through buds, completed buds, and was like, I need more. Went to Army Rangers, completed that. I need more. Goes to the Air Force PJs, completes that. I need more. Runs a 100-mile race. I need more. So like, he's not, all he's doing is just testing his mind. He understands now how to get through adversity. He understands that discomfort is temporary. Therefore, his mind is strong enough to just push through because his mind understands that this is temporary. And at some point, it's over. It's like, I'll say for myself, I've noticed the most growth in my life in the last 2 months. Ever since the year started, I told myself, all right, this year I'm going to dedicate it to doing something I don't want to do every month. In the first month of January, I woke up. The first thing I would do is take a cold shower, like cold ass water. January in the Northeast, and where I'm in Jersey. So it's already like 20 degrees outside. And then I put cold water in the shower. The bathroom's already cold when I walk in. It's the morning time. Did that for a month. Froze. But I then built a tolerance to it. And I understood, oh, I could do it. It's no problem. So now if I ever need to get in cold water, I know it's just here. Once I get through here, I'm good. I'm chilling. Goddamn. Then February, I did the Murph. And like I told you before, when I first heard about the Murph, I was like, damn, that's crazy. People do that? That's wild. I did the Murph and I was like, that was it? I could do this every weekend. There's not that big a deal. Was I even sore the next day? My legs a little bit. Everything else was fine. I was chilling. It's like, that's it? I could do that. Now I'm doing the 75 hard. I'll tell you right now, I'm 10 days into the 75 hard. Does not feel like a challenge at all. I remember hearing the 75 hard before, seeing it on TikTok. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. People do that. Like, damn, they do this. I'm doing it. I'm like, it's really not that different from my everyday lifestyle, to be honest. So it's kind of easy for me. It's just keeping the discipline of making sure I complete everything I need to complete. but most of it I already do. Now I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, 75 hard is, yes, I haven't finished it yet, but it's not difficult to me. It's not, it doesn't feel like a challenge for me. It just feels like this is just how I should be living my life, pretty much. So now what I'm going to do to up it is on March 22nd, I have Muslim friends and they celebrate Ramadan. So I'm going to celebrate Ramadan with them on top of doing the 75 hard. So that means I can't have water or eat until sundown, which gives me a small gap to get a gallon of water in and to get all my macros in. That's going to be my new challenge, because once I get through Ramadan, the final portion of the 75 hard, I know is going to be a walk in the park. And the minute I'm done with the 75 hard challenge, I'm going to be like, bro, I'm going to have to go run a marathon to like challenge myself mentally, because I don't know what to do at that point. I got to think of something for the month of May because I don't know what to do. But the reason why I've had all that growth and done all that is because I started off by putting myself through something I did not want to do. I put myself in discomfort, but I understood at the end of the month, I'm done. Or at the end of this challenge, I'm done. I knew it was temporary. And now it's just like, and then after I completed it, I'm like, damn, that's what people like go crazy about. It's not that big of a deal, really.
Yeah.
Like now I tell people in the gym, oh yeah, I did the Murph. Like, for example, I was getting a haircut. My barber's inside of a gym. So, I know a guy who's a personal trainer there. He was like, yeah, I saw you did the Murph. I was like, yeah, bro, you got to do it. Like, I feel like you would like it. He's like, nah, bro, I don't know about that. That shit's crazy. It's like, in my head, I'm like, it's not that big a deal. But I understand his perspective because that was me before. But after I did, I'm like, it's not that big a deal. Then I tell him, yeah, I'm doing 75 hard now. You should try that too. It's like, nah, bro, I don't know about that. You're fucking crazy. But to me, I'm like, it's not crazy. It's just, so whatever. Once you do it, you realize it's not that big a deal. And I think that applies to anything in life, right? You look at somebody making money on YouTube and you're like, damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. And then you do YouTube, you go hard at it. Eventually you start making money from it and you're like, it's not that big a deal. It was never that big of a deal. It's all me putting it in my head here. You see somebody accomplishing something you want to accomplish. And it's like, damn, look at them. They're doing it, bro. That's crazy. And it's like, well, if you just experience this discomfort for like 6 months or even less, and you just go hard for that little period of time, that'll be you. And once you do it and you get through it and you start seeing the results, you're like, damn, that's it. If anything, you feel regret because you're like, why the fuck did I do it before? Why did I even think it was that big of a deal? It's not. It's not that big a deal. Like, I could have done this so long ago. Yep. But you have to put yourself through it. And that's the problem, because we live in a world of instant gratification now, where if it doesn't happen right away, we lose it. We don't want it. Get rid of it. So it's a battle that you have to play. You have to retrain your mind to be able to delay gratification. And I think for me, it's physical challenges. It's doing cold showers. It's, training, like gym challenges, 75 hard, the Murph. I'm going to try the Ramadan. I've never done it before. I know it's going to be difficult because I wake up every morning starving. So I know it's going to be fucking hard. But I'm going to do it, because once I get to that, what it's teaching me is that if I can do it here, I can do it in any other realm of my life. I can do it in the finances. I can do it in just mental, which I'm already doing it. I can do it in physical, which I'm already doing. Like, I've got these pieces solidified now. Now all I have to do is apply that to the things I also want to do. And once I do that, it's over. And I keep using me as an example, and I don't mean to make it about myself, but I'm just trying to show people that, like, discomfort is temporary. And once you get through it, you realize how, like, not big of a deal things are, and how it's all blown out of proportion in your mind. And the minute you accomplish it, you realize I can accomplish anything. Why did I ever think it was going to be hard? Like, you just remove that instant gratification. You understand, okay, I want this. This is what I have to do to get it. Okay, I'm going to get it. That's it.
So, one, I love what you said, right? I want to not so much change gears, but like you just said, right, when you get through it. Because like I said earlier, think of discomfort in just any realm of life, whether if it is challenging yourself or just something crazy happening, what would be your Gianni's advice to somebody that wants to improve themselves, but is just like in shambles? Like, maybe they, like, how do I word this? Maybe things aren't going their way in a sense, and they want to improve, but they don't know what to do. What would be Gianni's advice to taking step one to getting through discomfort? There you go.
I would say I would say this: if they're probably struggling to get through those things, they're probably viewing it as suffrage and pain. It's to change your mindset, number one, or try to change your mindset. Work on changing the mindset. So try to change your mind frame from, damn, this sucks, my life sucks, to, okay, this sucks right now, but I know it's going to end at some point. This is temporary. I don't like this, but someday it's going to end. And the faster I decide to take action, the faster it'll end. So step number one, change your mind frame. Work on changing how you think, how you react to things, how you process things, all that stuff. Obviously, easier said than done, but put in the work. If you need to, watch YouTubers about perspective and changing mind frame. Watch people who are, or read books that are going to help improve your mind frame and in your thoughts. A good book to help with that, The Atomic Habits, really good book, is going to help teach you little habits to start breaking the cycle of what you're doing, to do the things you actually want to do. And as long as you apply it, it will work. If you read it and don't do nothing, it's not going to work. If you listen to people talk on YouTube all day about all the right things, but you don't actually take action on it, it's not going to work. So that's step number two, take action. So you change your mind frame, then you got to put it to use. Now you got to actually take action upon it and do that. And step number three is, by taking that action, putting yourself in situations where you can overcome that adversity. Or if you're already going through the adversity, putting yourself in situations where it helps you overcome the adversity that you're already going through. Because once you get through it, you're going to realize, one, wasn't that big of a deal, and two, you can get through anything. Absolutely. And from that point forward, your mind starts to open up and you realize, whoa, everything's blown out of proportion. These people are just closed-minded. They're short-sighted. They're thinking about now. They can't focus on the fact that, okay, somebody did it. Here's what they had to go through to get there. Now you're at a point where it's like, okay, that's where somebody got through. I want to enjoy this process. This process is what I want. I don't care about this. This is just a bonus because I went through this. But this is what I want, the middle piece. The piece where it's like, oh, fuck, I don't want to do this shit no more, but I'm going to do it anyway. So hopefully that was clear. But number one is change your mind frame. Step two, take action. And then after you take action and overcome it, if you're already going through it, then number three is to then continue to challenge yourself. Don't get comfortable. Stay uncomfortable, because that's going to keep you growing. The minute you get comfortable is when you become complacent, and when you kind of just plateau and you just get stuck there. And then you're more likely to actually fall back into your old habits. So keep challenging yourself after you've overcome it. Doesn't have to be some crazy shit either, but just make sure you challenge yourself. Make it a thing that once a month, or at some point within every single month, you do at least one thing that you don't want to do, but you do it either way.
I like that. That was fire.
I need water after all that.
Johnny, you've been spitting this episode. Now, with what you said, something that I would like to add is, if you look around at your life and if you're just uncomfortable all across the board, I always say, one, take tally, right? If you're uncomfortable in let's say with your body, right? Take tally. What is it that you don't like about your body? Make a list. Bam. That list you just made is your to-do list. If you're uncomfortable with your circumstances in life, same thing. I like my favorite piece of advice is make a fucking list, right? What do I like, right? I'm uncomfortable in, and I know I've been using uncomfortable in a broader sense, but just because I think the two go hand in hand. The way you treat little challenges transpire into how you handle shit in life. So you willing to go through a Murph means that when life forces you to go through life's version of a Murph, you're ready for it, right? So that's why I keep pulling it out to a broader sense too. But I was gonna say one of my favorite pieces of advice is to make a list on things you want to improve and challenge yourself by improving on them. Like if I say I don't like my job, I don't like the way I feel every day, I don't like my body, I don't like my finances, I don't like this. Cool. Pick which one is your fucking most important one. The top, the cream of the crop one that you can't keep living with. Cool. That's where you start. And once you solve that, you go on to the next one, and next one, and next one.
Yep.
And then you start realizing that eventually you get to a place where you're like, yo, I'm pretty good. Yeah. But you've trained yourself, like you did with the challenges, to seek more. So now you start going back and further improving on the things you've done and finding new areas of yourself to improve on.
Yeah. And it's, again, I don't want to use myself as in a way of bragging. It's just more like I'm doing it right now. So I feel like I can relate to it because I was the person who thought the other way before. And in the last 2 to 3 months, my mind completely shifted to like realizing that my perspective was wrong the whole time. That's all it was. It wasn't that I was incapable. I just didn't have the right perspective. I viewed it the wrong way. And like I said, now it's to the point where the 75 hard, that's supposed to be hard, feels easy. It's like, it doesn't feel like a challenge to me. So I'm like, F it. I'm going to do Ramadan too because I want to feel the discomfort. I want to feel that struggle. I want to feel like that, oh man, this shit is hard, but I'm doing it. But I've already done things that were already hard. So it's hard to feel that pain, that hardness again. It's like, I just understand, okay, maybe it's a little difficult, maybe it's a little uncomfortable, but it's not that big of a deal because I understand once I get done with it, it's done. And I'm only that much better. That much, I've only increased that much. I've progressed that much, so on and so forth. And I don't know if my message is coming across clearly, but that's why I'm like trying to push so hard this message is that make yourself uncomfortable, challenge yourself. If you go to my social media, my bio literally says challenge yourself. Because if you challenge yourself every month or every day or every week, you will grow, your perspective will change, and you will become way more competent, and your confidence will grow, and you in your mind will believe, I can do anything. This is just here. And as long as I know I got it here, I got it. Yeah. It's not that big a deal. And I try to explain that sometimes, like when people see I'm doing the 75 hard, or they see I've done the Murph, or that I've done cold showers. Sometimes they see me and they think, what the hell, you're crazy. Or I'm working out, right? I put on a 20-pound vest. I decide I'm going to do 100 pull-ups today. They're like, yo, you're crazy. It's not that bad. Yeah. It's bad the first time because you think, oh, shit. And you're like, I don't know if I can do it. And then you do it. And you're like, oh, that's it.
I forget which philosopher said it, but he says 90% of suffering is in the mind.
It is.
It's in the leading up to the thing.
I think it's Seneca that says that.
Yeah. It started with an S, so it was probably Seneca. In my head, I was like, Seneca, Socrates, one of them too. But, so it's Seneca. And it's so true because you look at it, we suffer more in anticipation of any event, good or bad. We suffer more in anticipation, and we think of how bad it can be. And we already start beating ourselves down, and nothing has happened yet. Yep. And then the thing happens, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, why was I so stressed about it? Like, and then you realize the resistance to insert thing here is where the suffering is. So whether it's you're going to do the 75 hard, whether you're going to do a Murph, whether you're trying to fucking piece your life together like a puzzle, the end of the day, the way you choose to look at it, like you said, your perspective on the situation, the way you choose to romanticize why things are happening to you is what's causing you to feel the suffering. Like, yeah, you could be like, damn, this situation sucks, but it's happening for a reason. You know what? Bam, let me get after it. You know what? Maybe I can't do a Murphy yet. Let me just start doing pull-ups. Maybe I can only do one, right? But guess what? Eventually, you'll be able to do the 100 or 200, however many it is for the challenge. But it all starts up here. It's like with anything, whether it's you're trying to challenge yourself or if your life's a mess, whatever it is, it's all about opening your mind and saying, either this is happening to me for a reason or I need to go through this for a reason, right? I need to put myself through a fucking Murph because sometimes you just need to prove to yourself that you're capable.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of things we think we can do and sometimes we just got to say, nah, like I know I can do it.
Yeah.
Bam. Insert brutal cold showers that I will not be partaking in. A Murph.
You should. I recommend cold showers to everyone.
So look, in honor of us hitting 1 year tomorrow, not tomorrow, next week, I will for 1 month take a cold shower.
There
After
you go.
30 seconds ago that I said I wouldn't do it. And I was like, Gianni got me feeling fucking inspired.
There you go. There you go. That's the whole point of this episode.
Yo, I'm feeling good. You know?
There you go.
So starting on March 9th, I will do a cold shower.
That's tomorrow, right? March 9th?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say.
I
thought it was next week or something. Start tomorrow.
Yeah.
Start tonight.
Yeah, my next shower. We came straight from the gym, so in about 30 minutes I will try.
There you go. And you don't even have to like just take your normal shower and at the very end, just turn that shit cold. You're going to have a shock. You're going to want to turn it off. Just breathe like and just hold it for as long as you can. And once you feel like, okay, that's enough, just turn it off. The next day, try to do it 1 second longer. And then 1 second longer. And then 1 second longer. After 2 weeks, you'll probably be under there for like a minute, 2 minutes. And after 3 weeks, you're just going to be like, you're going to be like that initial shock. And then your body's going to calm down. And then you'll be there for like 3-4 minutes. And you'll be like, all right, it's good. Turn it off. And you build the tolerance. Because before, you did like right now, you view it as that's crazy. That's difficult. Because you don't believe in yourself enough to think that you can do it and stay consistent with doing it. But then once you do it, then you realize it's not that big a deal. It just takes some adjusting.
Yeah.
And that's anything and everything in life. It's crazy until you do it. Then it's not crazy no more. You're crazy if you run 100 miles. But if 500 other people run the 100 miles with you, it's just a 100-mile race. And I'm rephrasing that because I heard that from Kanye. But it's true. It's true. Like he was saying, if you see somebody run 26 miles, they're crazy. But if you see 100 people run 26 miles with them, it's a marathon now. Yeah. It's just perspective. It's how you view things. It's only crazy to the person who doesn't believe that they can do it themselves. It's only unattainable to the person who has no belief in themselves to be capable of attaining things, right? If I don't believe in myself or believe myself capable enough to do something, I won't ever make the attempt to do it. If I don't believe in myself enough to become a content creator as my career, I'm never going to pursue content creating the real way, the right way. If I don't believe in myself to become a multimillionaire or to be a business owner or to be this or that, I'm never going to be it. You have to believe in yourself in order to do it. And doing challenges and challenging yourself will bring that mindset out. It will expose it to yourself because it has for me. I've wanted this, but I've never been able to put the work in for it. But now that I forced it and now that I'm at the point where I'm at, it's just normal. It's just the norm. I believe in myself now. I know that if I say I'm going to do something, that I will do it now. I've proved it to myself for the last 2.5 months that I will do it. So now I have crazy competence and confidence in myself. I said I was going to do it and I did it. So I can do anything now.
Yeah.
I have the belief that if I want to pursue content creation full time, I can become a content creator and make it. I understand there's work that has to come with it, but I believe in myself enough to do the work and to be consistent that it will get done. If I want to open up my own business, right? I have the belief in myself now that I can do it because I've proved that I'm capable of doing things in other areas of my life. And if I can do it in other areas of my life, what makes it so different from this area of my life? It's not different. It's just how I view it. So you have to believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself right now, do something that you genuinely believe you can't do and really give it a shot. 100%. Don't give up. Push through. If it takes you 5 hours to get 100 pull-ups done, take the 5 hours to get the 100 pull-ups done. But watch when you get the 100 pull-ups done, how you're going to feel. You're going to be like, oh shit, I could do it.
Yo, I'm going to say this. Just like you said, if you don't believe in yourself or anything like that, this is going to sound so stupid to the person on the other side of the screen, on the other side of the camera, right? But just trust me. This is what I did to start building confidence up. It's going to sound so stupid, but just trust me. Just make your bed every day.
Oh, yeah.
Just start there.
It's a really good one. That's actually something I started doing too.
Dude, you make your bed every day. Funny as my bed's a mess. But I made a mess right before recording. You make your bed every day. What are you doing? One, you're building discipline. It's such a simple task. And you would think, oh, it's so easy. Like, it's easy to do every day. But it's so easy that you start thinking like, I don't need to do it, right? But so whatever, you start making your bed every day when you wake up, right? What's going to happen? You're going to build a habit of having a made bed, right? 2, building the discipline to make your bed every day. And 3, your room's going to be a little cleaner every single day, right?
Yeah, it's going to look tidy.
What does this do for you? 1, it's going to inspire you, so to say, to start building other habits and other disciplines. Because if you can make your bed every day, you can, you know what? I can get into the gym for a minute, right? And that's a bit of a leap, right? Like, obviously, one's such a simple act. The other one's like, I need to drive somewhere. But you can get into the gym every day. You don't got to do nothing crazy. Like you said, like 30 episodes ago, just go into the gym, maybe just do like 1 set or something like that. Like, just get yourself in the gym one time and then focus on doing it one more time. And now you start doing that. Well, guess what? Now you have a clean room, right? And you're in the gym. It starts trickling down into other areas.
100%. Yeah. The point I had made with that was, if you're somebody who can't get yourself in the gym, go to the gym, do 1 set of 1 exercise, and then leave. And tomorrow go back, 1 set, 1 exercise, leave. Do that for a week. Then the following week, okay, I'm going to do 2 sets of an exercise and then leave. Then 3 sets of an exercise. Then 4 sets of an exercise. Then 5 sets of an exercise. This time I'm going to do 2 exercises. I'm going to do 3 of one and 1 of the other, then leave. 3 of one, 2 of the other, leave. And then before you know it, you're just going to be like, fuck it, I'm here. Let me just do more. And let me just do more. And before you know, you built the habit of, okay, I'm going to show up every day. Even if I only come for 5 minutes, I'm still going to show up. And that's going to then trickle down into you just being consistent in the gym all the time. But the problem is people go from 0 to 100. They don't take the following, the proper steps up, right? And it's the same thing here. People go from complete comfort to then just like wanting the fucking most amazing thing in the world. Obviously, you're not going to achieve it. I can go from being a fat slob to, in my mind, I'm going to have a 6-pack and be super shredded and ripped in the next 3 months. Well, that's not going to happen. You know why? Because 1, you don't believe in yourself. And 2, you're not going to do it. You don't have the discipline to do it.
True.
So why don't you start building habits in other parts of your life? Discomfort too. I want that, but I hate going to the gym. Okay, fine. Let me just go for 1 set. Okay, I did it. Okay, I did it. Okay, I did it. I did it. I did it. I did it. Okay, let me do a little more. Oh shit, I did that too. Oh shit, I did that too. Then you start really believing, oh shit, I can do it. I can lose the weight. I can get in shape. I can make the $1 million. I can start a business. I can become successful. I can become a content creator. I can do all these things. There is nothing different. No magic spell happened. The only thing that changed was your perspective. That's it.
Perspective is key.
Yeah. You just change your mind frame, your mindset. You understood, okay, the only person who's actually holding me back is me. And if you want to learn about accountability, go watch the accountability episode, because I'm not going to get into it right now.
No, we went in.
But a lot of it stems from that.
Yep.
From the lack of that. So, you got anything you want to say?
We doing closing notes?
I feel like, I just felt like there was something you were going to say, but I started going.
I had like 18 thoughts.
Okay.
All of them came and went. Like,
okay.
I don't know. I was thinking things, but I was like, geez, spitting right now. Like,
yeah. Yeah, it's just, like I said, I really hope the message is coming across to the camera, because I can relate. I was the person literally a year ago, like how we started the episode. A year ago, we were sitting in a car in the parking lot of Taco Bell, talking about like, damn, yo, like we should start a podcast. Imagine, like, who knows what happens. And here we are a year later, we're almost at 100 subscribers. Sure, it's not a big deal to some people, but that's almost 100 more people hearing our conversations and believing that we are providing some kind of value to them, that they're willing to take time out of their life to listen to, that weren't before.
Yep.
And by doing this, sure, we were uncomfortable at first, but now we've grown from it. Content creation is not a big deal to us anymore. It's just whatever. The camera's there. I don't care. I barely even look at it. Yeah. I mean, I look at it now just to connect with the audience, but
I look more at you.
Yeah, like somebody can have a camera right there and it's not going to change the way I act. It's just there. But before, I'd be extremely self-conscious. Oh man, like, how do I look? Like I said, I was blinking too much. I stuttered. I sounded stupid there. I don't like how my voice sounds. This, that. Well, then how do I ever expect to get anything I ever want? I don't believe in myself at that point. But now that I've done it for a year consistently, haven't missed 1 week, it's not a problem. It trickles into other things. Like, I'm not going to go into it because I feel like I'm just bragging because I keep bringing up my shit, but.
So I want to say something based off what you just said, right? Because you say you feel like you're bragging. Something I've always felt like there's a difference between bragging and speaking from your experience.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I can't speak on what the fuck you've gone through or what the fuck you've succeeded in, but I can speak on what I've done and what I've succeeded in.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it to brag. I'm saying it to get a point across. And I feel like the people that interpret that as bragging, like, I don't know, I say it often, like, oh, I'm not saying this to make this about me. I'm saying this just to, like, get this point across. I feel like the people that interpret that as bragging are, like, low-key insecure.
They are. And that's a really good point that you bring up. So if you feel that way, fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm just really trying to bring a point across. So now that you said that, I am going to say it.
Yeah.
Posting for 51 weeks in a row and next week will be 52. 1 year straight, not missing one single week ever, despite going on vacations or family things happening or whatever the case may be, still managed to get it done every single week, even if that meant recording at 4 a.m, which we have done.
Oh, yeah.
That has trickled into other parts, like now with my 75 hard challenge. I went from struggling to post on social media. I've been posting for the last 14 days in a row, a video a day, minimum a video a day. And now it's at the point where it's like, why wasn't I doing this before? It's not difficult. I literally record stuff throughout my day, wake up in the morning, go on CapCut, spend 10, max 20 minutes, edit it, boom, post TikTok, Instagram Reels, done for the day. And then I repeat and repeat. Not a big deal. Literally not a big deal at all. Now there's consistency in other parts of my life.
Yep.
There's consistency in my social media, right? And what I'm posting. I've always kind of been consistent in the gym. Maybe the consistency of the gym is what created the consistency here, which created more consistency here, which created consistency into me challenging myself every month, which creates more consistency. And I just continue being consistent. And if you keep being on top of something, it's only a matter of time until you get better at it.
Yeah.
Right? The person who started playing something where they were 3 and continued playing it every single day till they were 19 is going to be good at it because that's all they've done their entire life.
Mm-hmm.
They just put in the work and the hours. It's that simple. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. It's not some crazy formula. It's not that person's smarter than you or better than you. It's just that person was consistent, believed in themselves, and took action. That's literally it. That's literally it. And fire. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm taking the steps to get to where I want to be. And that's all that's very important. I was going to say that's all that matters. It does matter, but it's very important as well.
Listen, to build off of what you just said, because you're taking the steps to like be who you want to be and everything like that. I think, and this is like also another massive tip out there to this, honestly, this piece of advice has nothing to do with anything we've spoken about this episode, but it can, like, in general, because everybody feels like lost, hence why we started this. Everybody feels lost. Mm-hmm. I don't know what I'm doing with work. I don't know what I'm doing with my money. I don't know what I'm doing with my family. I don't know what I'm doing with my school. Like, I don't know, like, or you feel like nothing's going your way, right? I, at one point in my life, literally just decided, you know what? This shit ain't working, right? Shitty job. Had no money. I felt stupid, right? Like, I felt like I wasn't really, like, necessarily intelligent in any specific area or anything like that. Like, life upside down, right? Dropped out of college, right? My biggest piece of advice to anybody on the other side of this fucking camera. I need to stop cursing so much on this podcast.
Fuck it.
Right? Literally, get a pen and paper out and decide who the fuck you want to be. I promise you, it's that simple. Literally, draw it the fuck out. What do you want to do for work? I don't know. I kind of like insert basket making. That's always my example for everything because I find it fucking hilarious. Somebody actually makes baskets. But insert basket making, right? All right, cool. You want to be a person who makes baskets. What does your physique look like? All right, you want to be fit? Cool. Well, what does somebody that's fit look like? I mean, what does somebody that's fit do? They go to the gym. Mm-hmm. All right, so maybe if you're not going to the gym, then you know you got to go to the gym. All right, cool. What do I want to be financially? And before somebody says, oh, well, I want to be a millionaire, cool, take steps, right? Because not that it's not impossible at all. Like, I love when Elon Musk says, like, figure out your 10-year plan and make it happen in 6 months. I love that shit, right? But set what's the word I'm looking for? Like a milestone. All right, cool. Maybe I just want to be making $40,000 a year, $50,000 a year, or whatever it may be. Cool. So I want to be a person that makes baskets, and, I want to be fit. I want to make X amount of money. I want to be able to hold myself in a conversation, right? Cool. With everything you just decided, as you literally on a pen and paper put that person together, you start opening your eyes to what you need to do. Because a lot of the suffering is just because you haven't put the destination in the GPS. GPS works just fine. Mm-hmm. You just haven't put an address in. And you feel so fucking lost with everything. You literally just not have decided where you want to go. And you don't even got to pick the right area too. Like, just pick something. And along the way, you might be 10 minutes away and be like, this ain't it, actually. This isn't what I want to do. But you're going to recalculate. You're going to reroute, right? You're going to put in a different destination. But you're so much closer to that second destination now than you were when you started chasing the first one. Yep. Literally, just take out a pen and paper and decide who the fuck you want to be.
And go after it.
And make it happen.
Take action. That's the biggest thing, because if you figure it out but you don't take the action, you've made no progress. Yeah. You didn't change. And speaking of like being lost, right? The whole premise of the show, Lost Boyz, is because when we started it, we were lost. When we started this podcast a year ago, I was making minimum wage working at a liquor store. Obviously did not enjoy that, right? That's like not what I want to do. Fast forward a year later, experienced different jobs and stuff to the point now, okay, now I have my own online training business. Sure, it's not successful to the point or in the realm of how I'd like it to be. Yet. Yeah, exactly. But I have it. I built it. I created it. I have an app for it. I did all these things for it. A year ago, doing an online coaching didn't cross my mind. No clue of it. Barely even knew that was even a thing. Then I discovered it. Combined of, wow, I really like working out. Okay, I want to help other people learn how to work out because other people always ask me. Online coaching. Why online? I can reach more people. You can be in Idaho, I can help you. You can be in Texas, I can help you. You don't have to be in the same town or general area as me in order for me to help you. I can reach more people this way. Hence the YouTube and the podcast. We could have kept talking in the car and it would have just been us two. Or we could talk right here to a camera and anyone and everyone, whoever comes across it, can hear it and see it.
At any point in time.
Exactly. So last year, minimum wage, liquor store. This year, online coach. Yes, not where I want to be yet, but I have it. I did it, and I'm doing it. I progressed, right? And I'll tell you what, honestly, that whole thing came about pretty recently too. It wasn't even like, oh, I thought about it. I found out about it a year ago. A year later, I'm here. It's like, no, it can happen fast. I made it happen January 1st. We're in March 8th. It has not been that. It has only been almost 3 months. Sorry, not almost. It's been 3 months. It's not a long time. Like, it can happen fast once you figure it out. But the reason why I figured it out was because I was chasing it. I was looking well, I shouldn't say chasing it. I was looking for it, right? And along the way, I was trying things. I was doing things, exposing myself to things. And more than anything, the reason why it's built and a whole thing now that I can help people with is because starting January 1st is when I started challenging myself mentally. And within challenging myself mentally, I got to this point where I'm at now, where now I'm like, not a big deal. I have an online coaching business. Not a big deal. Actually, before I started it, I was like, damn, I have no idea how to even do this. Like, this shit is crazy. Then I learned how to do it. And I'm like, yeah, this shit was easy as hell to build. Easy as hell to build. In my head, I'm like, yo, it's going to be this and this and this. I built it in like 2 weeks. And 2 weeks because if I actually put all my time into it in the initial, like from the jump, probably would have got it done in 1 week. Was not that big of a deal. Literally not that. Like, it's all just your mindset. And once you start challenging yourself, shit changes fast. So fast.
You can either feel like that, or you can sit there and feel like, it'd be so cool to have an online fitness business.
That was me before. Until I actually took action.
Both sides of the same coin, but you choose which side it lands on.
Yep. And like I said, before I saw it as a big deal. Then I did it and I'm like, what the fuck? It's not a big deal. Why was I stressing about? Why was I going crazy over like, my head is going like, what the? How do I even do this? Then I did it. And I'm like, why didn't I do this when I first started working out? Like when I was like 15, would have been no problem.
Yeah.
No, I would have been blown past. Who knows if I was even doing it still? Like I would have gone so far. But you got to challenge yourself, right? It's not easy. It's not easy, but it's simple.
Yep.
It's simple, but not easy.
Correct.
Right? There's a formula. There's a formula for anything you want to do in life. There's a formula to success. If you want to get in shape in the gym, there's a formula. It's simple what you have to do, but it's not easy because it requires discipline, being accountable, and actually doing the work. So that part's not easy. but the actual formula is very simple. If you want to, I don't know, save $20,000 this year, it's simple what you have to do, right? You can break down the formula and understand, okay, if I save this much every month, I can make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not easy, right? Because you have bills, you have responsibilities you got to pay for. But the formula is simple. And okay, it's not easy. Maybe it's too hard to save $20,000. Well, how can I make it easier to save $20,000? Then you start getting creative. Okay, maybe I can do this instead. I can do this. And you just try shit.
Mm-hmm.
And before you know, you try so many things that one of them pops off and hits. And then that's it. Now you're like, then you look back and like, I wanted to save $20,000 in 1 year one time. You remember that? I saved that shit in 1 month now.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Obviously, that's an extreme example, but it's possible.
Yeah.
You just have to challenge yourself, though. I'm telling you, you have to challenge yourself.
That's the key, man. That is the key.
Yeah. I mean, I could keep ranting, but I'm gonna end it there. Unless you got anything else you want to say.
I mean, I pretty much said everything I had to say. I asked my questions, gave out my tidbits,
Yeah.
my advices.
So I'm gonna give you guys homework for today's episode.
Mm-hmm.
If there's something that you know you want to do, but you haven't been doing, write down what's the first step I can do. If I know it's gonna vary for everyone. I'll give you the example of the gym, just because it's relatable.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, if going to the gym is something you really want to do or would like to do, summer's coming in 3 months. Start slow. If you need help, reach out. Like, I'm an online coach. I will help you. It's not a problem. If you feel like you're not ready for that just yet, start slow. Tell yourself, okay, tomorrow I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to go do 1 set. You make up whatever many reps you want to do. You could do as many reps as possible. Or you could do 10. You could do 5. Whatever weight you want. Just go, do it, leave. Don't do nothing else. Don't try to get extra. No, go, do it, leave. The next day, do it again. Do that for 1 week. The second week, do 2 sets. The third week, do 3 sets. The fourth week, do 4 sets.
Mm-hmm.
Month number 2, you're going to do 3 sets of one exercise, 1 set of a second exercise. The following week, 3 sets of an exercise, and you build up. Boom, boom, boom. By month 3, I promise you, you're not going to be doing 2 exercises. You're going to be going through a full program.
Yep.
And you're going to be in the gym. And 3 months later, you're going to be like, okay, I may not be where I want to be, but I look better than I did 3 months ago. And summer's here. And I look better than I did before. And now I feel confident for summer because I look a little bit better.
Yep.
And then you're just like, damn, who knows how I'll look in August? It's still hot out.
Mm-hmm.
I still look good. And then you keep it going. I got to drink water, my bad.
You know what's funny? When I first got in the gym, right? And I actually started on March 13th, 2021, right? And I remember just getting into the gym, working out with you, right? Like, this dude literally, like, my makeshift personal trainer at the time, because I didn't know any workouts, but I knew he knew about it. So I asked him, and I remember just, like, learning about the gym and getting into the gym. And fast forward a month later, we took a vacation. We went to Miami. And I felt so fucking good. And I had only been working out for a month. A month, right? But my confidence through the roof. Then fast forward, we went to Aruba, right? 2 months after that Miami trip. Still working out the entire time, right? Felt so, like, 10 times more confident than I did during the first trip. And then again, we traveled again and felt 10 times more confident than I did before, right? And it's like, just trust yourself, one, that it will fucking happen. Because I can sit here and tell you, he can sit here and tell you, you won't know unless you actually do it, how good it feels when you get out the shower and you're like, look at my chest is poking out a little. Like, oh man, like, you won't know unless you do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can describe certain feelings, but you will never feel the feeling unless you do it yourself.
Yep.
But it all comes from just saying fuck it and making it happen. And just however you got to do it, just starting.
100%. Couldn't have said it any better. So, with that being said, I'm gonna wrap up this episode. I don't know how long it's been. The computer screen is black.
Yeah, the computer went to sleep and everything.
But yeah, I feel like it was a really good episode. I hope my message came across to the camera well. I hope I articulated myself well coming off the last episode too about articulation. But just really challenge yourself. Truly, truly challenge yourself. Change your mind frame from whatever you're going through of being suffrage, pain, whatever it is, to just discomfort. Just understand I'm uncomfortable right now, and that's perfectly okay, because at some point I'm going to get through this and it's going to be a breeze in the park the next time it comes around. It's going to be so much easier, so much better. Your mind's going to grow. Everything's going to grow. But if you live in a mind frame of I'm suffering, you're going to continue to suffer. So understand that you're not suffering. You're just experiencing discomfort. And if you're experiencing discomfort, that means at some point it's going to stop. It's going to end. And you take it from there. So that's episode 51.
Mm-hmm.
Next week is the 1 year anniversary of the start of this podcast. 51 weeks strong, about to be 52 strong, never missing a week. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like the video, share with friends and family. It'd be nice if we hit 100 subscribers by next week.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens.
We're making it fucking happen.
But again, just subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
Comment down below if this episode has helped you, if you are plan to take action on it and utilize it. Maybe even if you disagree somehow. I don't know how you could disagree, but that's just my opinion.
No, stay comfortable. Don't
And
make
yeah. And if you need help with the gym, again, like I said, I'm an online coach. My socials are in the description down below. Shoot me a DM on Instagram, and we could talk. So catch you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.